Metroid Samus Returns. Hello everyone. I am Andrew Dornan, also known as the 12th guy here on YouTube, and today is a brand new side Let's Play, Metroid Samus Returns. This is a series I've been wanting to do for a while, ever since I got the game on launch. I even got the collector's edition, or actually it's technically called the special edition, which, if you know, special edition in the US isn't that great, but I still like it nonetheless. Real quick about the Metroid games. It started way back in 1996 with the original Metroid. For a while, like about 7 years after, I think it's Metroid Other M, we didn't get a new Metroid game until, well, Metroid Prime Federation Force, which was a spin-off of the Metroid Prime games. That didn't go over too well, but about a year or so later, we got this game, Metroid Samus Returns. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. On screen, there should be a little timeline, just to kind of give you an idea of the Metroid games, or the releases of the Metroid games. In the year 20X5 of the Cosmic Calendar, a Galactic Federation research team discovered an unknown life form on the planet SR388. While they were able to successfully obtain a living sample, their research vessel was attacked by space pirates during their voyage home. This attack was no coincidence. The space pirates had set their sights on the mysterious organisms called Metroids. They planned to replicate the sample and exploit its ability to absorb the energy of any life form. Their intention was to use Metroids as a weapon, one powerful enough to conquer the galaxy. To combat this threat, the Galactic Federation dispatched a lone bounty hunter to infiltrate the space pirate base on planet Zebes. Against all odds, Samus Aran eradicated the Metroids on Zebes and defeated Mother Brain, the leader of the space pirates, and so their sinister plans were thwarted for a time. Concerned by these developments and by the great Metroid, by the threat the Metroid species still posed to the galaxy, the Galactic Federation mounted another expedition to SR388. A special squadron of elite soldiers from the Galactic Federation Police was dispatched to investigate. The team soon went missing, but not before transmitting a small sampling of data back to headquarters. Analysis of this data confirmed a Metroid presence within the interior of planet SR388. So long as they continued to exist, these Metroids would forever pose a devastating threat to the galaxy. The resulting decision of the Galactic Federation Council was immediate and unanimous. Samus Aran, you must exterminate the Metroids once and for all. Yeah, okay, I guess I can do that. That seems like something up my alley. So yeah, like I said, this is a remake of Metroid II, The Return of Samus, for the original Game Boy. Since then, there have been a couple of fan remakes in the past few years. The most notable is another Metroid 2 remake, or AM2R. That, unfortunately, was shut down by Nintendo via DMCA claim. And then, about a couple of years later, they announced Metroid Samus Returns. So you gotta wonder if, like, they did that so they could be like, hey, you know, we're working on an official Metroid 2 remake. Which, we're not gonna get into the moral side of that. It's just not up my alley. So, we're here in the world of Metroid. B is to jump, Y is to shoot, L is to aim. So that's pretty neat. And circle pad is to move around. There are some other buttons. I just showed something that we'll get into a little bit later. We can shoot. We can also crouch, but we cannot move while crouching. Let's see. Here we go. Press you press and hold R, and you can shoot a missile. That's pretty nice. Now we can aim with L. This is something that I think was long overdue in the 2D Metroids, is full 360 degree aiming for, you know, just trying to... Oops. There we go. There's a mechanic that we're gonna get into real soon. I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but not really. Here we go. And jump up here. So let's go down here. Something that I would just want to point out, I think it's just me, but like, I kind of think that the energy bolts of the standard cannon kind of look like fish. I'm not sure about you guys, maybe it's just me, but that's honestly what we think, or what I think. Blah, what is this Wii business? Here, oh jeez, what is all this goo? I've never really thought about it, but it's like there's just goo there. Oh, hello, bat, with the worst case of an overbite. Use your melee counter right before a charging enemy makes contact to parry. After doing so, you automatically take aim. Press X now to do your melee counter now. There we go, and fire immediately, and it's basically a one-hit kill. So, like it says, X to do melee. This is totally brand new to the Metroid series. There's never really been melee combat before, and now we have it in the form of this. And it's just so satisfying when you do it, because it's just like, hey, nope. It's just, it's great. I love it. Alright, we got another bat over here. Also, I would like to take a minute just to, like, talk about, like, the art style. Like, it looks great. Like, you can, like, see the remnants of the society that was on SR388. And then also just, like, how all the character models look. It just, it looks great. And then there's another thing which I can't really show off too easily. You can kind of see it in, like, the image being turned, but, like, just, like, the 3D is something that's just really great. I talked about the 3D a lot in Heroes of Ruin, and I think there are some games that don't necessarily do it right, and then, like, they do it just for a gimmick, and then it's like you have these Nintendo games that do it, and, like, some third-party games, and it just looks great. Right here, we have ourselves a weapon recharge station. These were in the original Metroid II, but in a different form. They were more so... oh gosh, what's the word? They were wrapped up into one along with save stations, and they also, yeah, they saved your progress. They restored shields and weapons. And here's a Chozo statue with a glowing orb in its hands. Also, real quick, that door had a red force field on it. Whenever you see a door with a red force field, it's a door that requires a missile to open. So let's shoot the orb and let's get ourselves the Morph Ball ability. Yes, this is a staple of the Metroid series. You can't have a Metroid game without the Morph Ball. It's illegal. The compact Morph Ball lets you move through narrow passages. Simply push down on the control pad while crouching, or tap on the touch on the map on the touchscreen to take Morph Ball form. That's pretty neat. I didn't necessarily know about how you could just do this. I've always, like, been trying to do that, but that's because that's something I didn't really think about when it came to this game. I just was like, oh, okay, yeah, Morph Ball, just hit down twice, because it's a 2D Metroid game, and then it's like, oh wait, I can actually have a shortcut now? That's pretty neat. So here we go, we got a missile tank, missile capacity increased by 3. There are a ton of missile expansions. In old games, they raise your expansion by, like, or your missile capacity by, like, 5 or so. In this game, they're 3, which means there's a lot more. Oh, he's right there. Oh Lord, he coming. There we go. I guess now this is brings me to a point. Okay, here well, first, save stations. But also, what I was going to talk about is that you've probably already noticed the video overlay. And this is something, the overlay itself is something that I worked with my dad to make. We spent a good portion of Christmas break just brainstorming ideas on what we wanted to do for the overlay. And then I knew I wanted to do an item tracker, so in the top right, and I'm using the character to aim, but in the top right corner you have the item tracker. You have silhouettes of items that we currently don't have access to. We don't have the ability to use them, so they are in silhouettes. And then you've got 3D, like I made those 3D models of the items just because I couldn't find good quality images of the different expansion tanks. So I figured, I'd just make my own in a 3D modeling program. And they're not the best, but I'm pretty happy with how they came out. So here we have another different type of locked door. Unfortunately, our standard blast is not strong enough to power up the door. So instead, we're going to jump up and over and head into here. And this video has been like really explanation heavy, but it's the start of a game. You gotta let people know what all is happening. Also, in terms of what we're gonna be doing, we've got a new thing right here. It's a statue with a glowing light, and it's pointing to the mouth of a bird. Caw! So before we get that, I would just like to say that these, if you're new to the channel, the way I cover Metroidvanias is I go into a certain predetermined stopping point, and I've got notes up on my other monitor, and you know what that means? It means I'm probably going to be confused by my notes at some point in the future. But real quick, let's just go ahead, not jump on the top, but go inside, get swallowed by the bird statue, and have a nice little excellent, awesome pose, and get the scan pulse. Upgrading suit for Aeon compatibility. Aeon fuels special abilities like the Scan Pulse. Refill your gauge with the Aeon orbs. Foes may drop, that should really say will drop, when you either beat them or successfully parry. Scan Pulse uses Aeon to scan an area, use it to reveal map information and the location of breakable blocks. Press up on the D-pad to equip, press A while equipped to activate. Cancel while pressing A again before the pulse is released. So yeah, you press A to charge it, and then you can press A to stop it, and you get a full refund on whatever energy was about to be used. So press A, and it fills up the bottom screen, and then shows up some breakable blocks. The thing about Aeon, when it was first announced, was pretty controversial. There were people who were split right down the middle in terms of, would this make the game too easy, or would it be dumb to do this? And honestly, the general consensus against the people who were saying well, this shouldn't be implemented was well, it's actually pretty optional. If you don't want to use it, then just don't use it. There may be some areas where you have to use an Aeon ability, but for the most part, you don't have to. Especially with the Scan Pulse, you don't really need to use that at all, but it makes getting 100% a lot easier, so we'll definitely be using it a lot. But that's actually going to be it for today. This episode's been pretty explanation heavy. In the next episode, we will be continuing on and going through the rest of this area. By the way, pressing start brings you the map. This is one last thing that I want to explain before I really close off the episode. There's various icons. You have the one that looks vaguely like Samus' ship. That is indeed your ship. And then you've got various icons. The red pillar-looking thing with like a little beak is your recharge station for your weapons. A large yellow orb is a place for you to recharge your Aeon ability. A yellow pillar is one where that's your charging station. The yellow beak is, you know, one of those Aeon Chozo holders. And then you can see where the doors are because they kind of look vaguely like doors. Circles that you see there right above Samus's head, those are items that we haven't gotten but we know are there. And then the purple pillar with a beak that you see down below, that is a charge station. And then also we can use pins, grab a pin from the bottom of the screen, drag it to a location of interest on the map. I don't really use that much. I never really had a reason to. And then finally, we've got map icons, so you can see, you know, Samus, missile tank, item sphere, acquired item, missing unacquired item, ammo recharge station, Aeon ability artifact, gunship, and red door. Okay. Whew, that was a lot of explanation thrown right at the end. There's going to be a little bit more explanation of certain mechanics and things dealing with the UI in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time for some more Let's Play Metroid Samus Returns. Bye-bye.